Coach Mark here. So this week I have a story for you that I'd like to share. Hope you guys are having a great week first and foremost. Anyway, the story is about these frogs. So the frogs are jumping through the woods, right? They're jumping through the woods, and whatnot. It's a whole pack of frogs, maybe like 50 frogs or something like that, okay? So they're jumping through the woods, having a little merry time, trying to get down to the stream so they can get a little water or whatever. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, two of the frogs fall into this deep, deep, deep pit. Okay, I guess the other frogs, they must have jumped over the pit. They didn't see the pit. I don't know what happened, but all I know is this: two of the frogs ended up falling into the pit. So all the other frogs, they stopped, they came back and looked over by the pit and saw how deep it was, and they said, wow, those frogs are done. They are goners, right? So the frogs that are deep in the pit, they're trying to jump out. First one jumps, falls back down. Because it's super deep pit. And, frogs can jump pretty high, but this pit was really, really deep. So first one tries to jump, jumps, falls down, can't get out. Second one jumps, falls down, can't get out. So they're jumping for about 5-10 minutes, and the other frogs are just looking into the pit, and they're like, there's no way that these frogs are going to get out. There's absolutely no way that these frogs are going to get out. But the frogs, they kept going, and then they start yelling. The other frogs that are outside of the pit looking in starts yelling at them like, "You guys just might as well stop. Just stop. You're not gonna get out. Stop jumping. Stop jumping." So they keep jumping. After about 2 or 3 times, the first frog just jumps up and just falls down and just says, "Psh," and ends up dying. Right? He gave up, okay? He gave up because he thought that he wasn't going to get out, right? He heard the other frogs saying to stop jumping, and he essentially gave up and he died. The second frog just kept jumping. Jump, fail, jump, fail, jump, fail. And the other frogs are yelling at him like, stop jumping. There's no way that you're going to make it out of that pit. Stop jumping. And he's just continuing to go. He's just continuing to go. Jump, fail. Jump, fail. Jump, fail. Then jump, and he gets out the pit. So then the frogs, they're amazed. They're looking at him like, wow, how did you do that? How were you able to jump so high? Didn't you hear us telling you to stop jumping? There's no way that you could have gotten out. He said, no, I didn't hear you guys because when I had fell into the pit, some dirt had gotten into my ears and I couldn't hear anything at all. That's how he was able to get out. See, the first frog, he listened to the crowd and the crowd was telling them to stop jumping. There's no way that he was going to make it out. And guess what? After a while, he ended up believing the crowd and he just jumped and just gave up, right? The second frog, because he couldn't hear what they were saying, he thought that they were cheering him on. So he couldn't hear them at all. He just saw their mouths moving. So he thought that they were cheering him on. And then as he felt that they were cheering him on, it kind of gave him more and more and more power till he finally was able to make it out. And that's a great example as to sometimes, man, we can't listen to the crowd because they'll have us giving up when we could have really made it through. We just needed to keep jumping, right? So sometimes when you hear the crowd yelling, either A, tune them out and pretend as if they're cheering for you, or B, just completely tune them out because sometimes they don't know. If you listen to them, you'll stay stuck in that pit like that other frog did. Right? But the frog that was unable to hear them, fortunately, he was unable to hear them because if he did hear them, maybe he would have given up too. All right? So sometimes we just have to tune out the crowd and focus on what it is that we're trying to do, and we will get out that pit. Okay? Hope you guys got something from that message, and I'll see you next week.